Today, I have asked Isabella to lead us through this one. Isabella, take it away.
Thank you, Erica. Okay, I have a clean breakdown of this. Dest, mark-in max, a 90, just clarity. Welcome back to Professor Erica. I am Isabella, and your gigabit internet connection is lying to you. Today we tackle Network Plus N10-009 objective, 3.3 performance metrics. You will know bandwidth, latency, jitter, packet loss, baselines, and quality of service cold by the end.
Great to be on your panel, Isabella. I see this tested constantly because candidates confuse bandwidth with throughput. The exam will give you a 1 gigabit link and ask why users only see 300 megabits, and the wrong answer looks right if you do not know the difference.
Here is what vendors will not put on the box. Bandwidth is the maximum theoretical capacity of the link in bits per second. Throughput is what you actually measure flowing through it, and those two numbers are never equal.
Think of a highway with 10 lanes. Bandwidth is the 10 lanes. Throughput is how many cars actually make it through during rush hour.
And then, Goodput takes it one step further. It only counts the useful payload delivered to the destination, so it strips out headers, retransmits, and protocol overhead.
And the gap between these numbers is always bigger than people expect. Overhead from Ethernet IP and TCP, headers each real capacity, and retransmissions from packet loss eat even more.
A clean gigabit link rarely delivers more than about 940 megabits of real goodput. The rest is the cost of doing business on a packet network.
Stick with me through scene 4, because I will show you the exact packet loss number that turns a voice call into garbage. It is lower than most people guess. 1 second for intros, and then we are off.
I am excited to watch this one unfold. I will jump in when I cannot help myself.
SSA. Fenrir here. The interesting angle is usually the one nobody pitched.
Bella. I found myself taking it seriously by paragraph 3. Utiperous. It earns that.
Strong panel today. Let us dig in.
Ever yelled at your screen because a video call froze when your speed test said everything was fine? That is latency betraying you. Latency is the time a single packet takes to travel from source to destination, measured in milliseconds. Round-trip time, or RTT, is the out and back version that ping reports.
If you have ever pinged a server and seen 20 milliseconds, that is RTT, divide it roughly in half, and you get the approximate one-way latency.
For voice traffic, the ITU says keep one-way latency under 150 milliseconds. Above that, callers start talking over each other.
There are 4 real causes, and you need to know all 4. Propagation delay is distance, limited by the speed of light in the medium. Fiber across a continent is about 40 milliseconds no matter what you do.
The other 3 sit inside the devices themselves. Queuing delay is time spent waiting in a router buffer. Processing delay is route lookup and header rewrite. Serialization delay is clocking bits onto the wire.
Distance, you cannot fix. Processing and serialization are tiny on modern hardware. The one you can actually control is queuing, which is why quality of service matters so much.
When you troubleshoot high latency, always pinpoint the hop. Run traceroute and watch where the jump happens. If RTT goes from 10 to 90 milliseconds on one specific hop, that is your suspect link. Picture a drummer who cannot keep a beat. Well, some taps land on time, some too early, some late. That is jitter. Jitter is not how long packets take. Jitter is how inconsistent that delay is from packet to packet.
And real-time apps struggle with jitter more than raw latency. DEC. A steady 100 millisecond delay is workable. A delay that bounces between 20 and 120 is brutal, because voice and video both need a steady stream of frames in order.
Here are the numbers to memorize. Under 20 milliseconds of jitter is excellent. Under 30 is acceptable for most voice calls. Above 50, you will hear audio cutting out or clipping.
The defense against jitter is called a jitter buffer. Phones and soft clients hold incoming packets for a few milliseconds, reorder them, and release them smoothly. The trade-off is that the buffer itself adds latency, so you cannot just crank it up. There is a sweet spot.
On the exam, if you see choppy voice with no packet loss and normal ping times, the answer is almost always jitter. It is the classic disguise. The link looks healthy on paper and still sounds terrible.
Packet loss is where the wheels come off, and the carrier will swear the link is healthy right up until you prove otherwise. It is the percentage of packets that left the source and never reached the destination. TCP retransmits for data, so you get slowness. Voice and video have no retransmit, so the moment is gone.
The number to lock in is 1%. Above 1% packet loss, voice calls on G.711 and similar codecs start breaking up noticeably. Compressed codecs are even less tolerant. That is the threshold I promised you in Scene 1.
Causes in the real world fall into 4 buckets. Congestion is the biggest, a link oversubscribed, so the buffer overflows and drops packets. Bad physical media is next, with frayed copper or dirty fiber throwing CRC errors.
The other 2 are wireless interference dropping frames in the air, and hardware issues like a failing switch port or an overheating router silently discarding packets.
Now, the piece that ties this all together is months. Mean opinion score. It is a 1 to 5 rating where 3.6 is poor, 4 is good, and 4.3 or higher is toll quality. Months is not measured directly. It is calculated from latency, jitter, and loss together.
Which means months is the single number that tells you whether callers will complain. You can have decent latency and still score a 3.2 because jitter and loss drag the number down. On the exam, if you see a metric that summarizes voice quality as one number, that is months.
If you've ever stared at a dashboard wondering whether 200 milliseconds is bad, you needed a baseline. A baseline is a documented record of what normal looks like on your network across latency, jitter, loss, and utilization. Without it, every number is meaningless.
Capture your baseline over at least 2 full weeks and include both peak business hours and off hours. Network behavior at 10 in the morning is completely different from 2 in the morning, and an alert threshold that ignores that will fire every business day for no reason.
The tools that feed your baseline are worth naming. ARC SNMP pulls interface counters for bytes, errors, and discards. NetFlow and SFlow sample actual flows and give you conversations between hosts. Syslog and streaming telemetry push events as they happen.
Tests. And here is the practitioner truth. Alert on deviation from baseline, not on fixed thresholds alone. If your link normally runs at 60% from 9 to 5 and suddenly sits at 20% at 10 in the morning, that is a problem even though 20% looks healthy in isolation. Static thresholds miss real outages.
That is the core idea. Baseline equals context. Without context, a metric is just a number. With context, a metric tells you whether to escalate.
Think of quality of service as the bouncer at a crowded club. Voice gets the velvet rope, everyone else waits in line. Quality of service is the framework that protects voice and video from congestion using 4 steps: classify, mark, queue, and schedule in priority order.
Markings come in 2 flavors, and you need both. DSCP is a 6-bit value in the IP header, so it works at layer 3 and survives any routed hop.
Class of service, written QoS, is a 3-bit value inside the 802.1q virtual LAN tag. It only lives at layer 2 and dies the moment you cross a router.
The markings to memorize are expedited forwarding, written exposure factor, which is DSCP value 46. That is the voice lane, lowest latency, lowest jitter, strict priority.
And assured forwarding class 4.1, written AF41, which is DSCP value 34. That is the interactive video lane.
Queue types are the last piece. A. Priority queues always drain first, which is why voice sits there. S. Weighted factor analysis of information risk queuing splits bandwidth proportionally. Low latency queuing blends a priority queue with weighted factor analysis of information risk for everything else.
If you remember one sentence from this scene, make it this: quality of service does not create bandwidth. It just decides who gets to cut the line when the link is full.
Forget everything else and remember this anchor. Bandwidth, latency, jitter, and loss define the problem. Baselines give you context, and quality of service is the lever that protects what matters.
Drop a comment below with the worst latency number you have ever measured on a production link. Test your knowledge on the quiz coming up next.
Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
If this video is worth your time, a like and subscribe is worth 2 seconds of yours. We will see you in the next one.
A user reports choppy voice calls. Ping to the VoIP server shows a steady 25 millisecond round-trip time and 0% packet loss. Which metric is most likely the cause? The correct answer is C, jitter, the variation in packet arrival time, causing audio gaps even when latency and loss look acceptable.
Which DSCP value is the recommended marking for expedited forwarding voice traffic under the differentiated services model? The correct answer is D, ED, DSCP 46, the expedited forwarding per hop behavior designed for low latency and low jitter traffic.
Why is a performance baseline considered essential before deploying monitoring alert thresholds on a production network? The correct answer is A. It documents normal behavior over time, so alerts can fire on deviation from that norm, rather than fixed numbers alone.
Great work on the quiz. In that quick recap, bandwidth is capacity, throughput is actual delivery, and goodput strips out overhead. Latency is travel time, under 150 milliseconds, one way for voice. Jitter is variation, under 30 milliseconds is your target. Packet loss above 1% breaks voice calls. Baselines give every metric its context. Quality of service uses DSCP 46 for voice and AF41, value 34, for interactive video.
Coming up next in this playlist, we move on to disaster recovery and high availability for networks, covering recovery objectives, failover designs, and the backup strategies that keep a business running when hardware fails. These topics pair directly with the performance metrics we just covered, because availability is measured against the same baselines.
If this breakdown helped you connect the dots, subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss the next video. We release full N10-009 coverage every week, and the playlist is ordered by exam objective, so you can walk it in sequence. Drop a question in the comments, and we will answer the best ones in an upcoming episode.
Every rule has a story behind it. Now you know yours.
That was a strong episode, Isabella. The students are in good hands. Professor Erica, signing off.